Hi, I'm Rashad West, and I'm the founder of BTE Analytics. We are looking to be the leader in player efficiency and tendency data. We're democratizing access to top-tier sports analytics through our player data and proprietary AI. Built for players by players, we're a group of former professional athletes turned analysts. We're using cutting-edge technology to help fans, players, and teams reach their full potential. As a former professional basketball player turned sports data analyst, I know how important it is for sports analytics both on and off the court. During playing at the AAU, high school, and college levels, I had to spend hours honing my craft. And it wasn't until I made it to the professional level that I had the data-driven insights I needed to up my game. Spending also a lot of time with coaches and trainers in film sessions, it was also difficult. But now I realize that that wasn't enough just to have those data-driven insights as a professional. I needed other things to up my game. That made us into what we are today. And I know that through honing your skills that you have to develop those data-driven insights to be successful. The game today is lacking and is too shallow in regards to those individual tendency data. And we need more data-driven insights to acquire the ability to be successful. So in the sports tech scene, there still isn't enough. We need more access to specific insights in regards to lack of analysis, it being qualitative, and the insufficiency of data. BTE Analytics is revolutionizing the player journey through our computer vision tool that accesses a different type of sports analytics metric. So we're making the qualitative elements quantitative. So 1 is a pound, 2 is a cross, 3 is an in and out, 4 is between the legs, and 5 is behind the back. And utilizing that specific metric for everything within sports as a rule of 5 system to quantify some of the qualitative elements. As you can see, this is Kyrie Irving playing for the Dallas Mavericks. And if you could think about some of the most skilled players, it's hard to actually quantify specific metrics for them, but we've been able to do so with our technology. This is our BTE Analytics GPS, where we have our top combos, and then we also have Steph Curry's 4 dribble in regards to what he's doing, which is a between the legs. He's coming off and he's doing multiple things within the mid-range, close range, and the three-point line. In developing this technology, we've created a specific element of our customer segments. So, in getting into our customer segments, we have media who will use our never before available analytics and insights to engage their audience, who are always hungry for more depth and detail. And then the largest portion of our analytics will come from the fantasy and sports betting markets, where BTE will unlock new opportunities. Our analytics are also proprietary. We have closed source data. It's exclusive, and we're first to market with our approach. Some of our competition is there, but they still haven't created the actual metrics that we've developed to be able to build out our systems in a way in which everyone can understand. A simple 1 through 5 system. BTE Analytics is also a closed source data system, and we're using an API to have a subscription-based SaaS platform. And in doing so, it makes our system very simple and easy to use. Our team consists of professional athletes. All of us have the ability in sports operations, sports analysis, and also sports science to be able to deliver a product in the market where fans, teams, and fantasy are ready to move forward and reach their full potential. BTE Analytics is not only revolutionizing the player journey, we're turning player performance into data science. Vision-focused AI plus machine learning plus data science is a slam dunk. We know that next-gen technology powered by next-gen technology is going to be huge for the revolution, and you can beat the expert analytics through our technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think the two basic questions. One is it basketball only?
Right now, we have metrics for all sports, especially, but we focus on basketball currently. We're looking to get into football and soccer in the next year or so. So hopefully, by the end of the year, we'll be having football and soccer also. Okay,
great. And then the second question is the source of the data. Is it purely content? Like, are you doing screen captures? How are you getting that content? Kind of what's feeding the data?
Yeah, so we're looking at a computer vision engine, basically to have the video analysis be able to put into our platform, and then actually we're looking to collect this data through that system. Right now, it's still learning. The model's learning. There's everyone's kind of doing manual still to this day for the most part in some components. And although we do have manual portions of our platform, we're automating daily.
You said proprietary in terms of software and systems. Give us a sense or talk a bit more about what's proprietary about it.
Yeah, so mostly the algorithm. So we're creating an algorithm to where each individual metric that we're gaining, first we have copyrights on it, on the actual metrics, but also the algorithm and the way that we're collecting the data is specific to, and it's only closed source for us specifically. So yeah, that's probably the best way I can explain it. But there's also other things that we're looking to protect that we can't kind of talk about right now, and that's why we're keeping it closed source as well.
Can we talk a little bit about the fantasy example that you gave in that use case and what the insights look like for either a fantasy platform or a fantasy player? Like, how does that kind of come to life in terms of what the value proposition is for the customer that would kind of be looking?
Yeah. So the biggest thing with fantasy, we're kind of having like a 3-step approach. So one, you have, we're focusing on teams right now. So we work with NBA and college teams on, their scouting and player development. And then we're looking to go into fantasy and then, media and then fantasy. And I think media will be huge because of the element of fan engagement. Needing more specific insights to engage your fans is huge right now. And then, especially when you think about individual tendency data in regards to an analysis. Someone who's doing analysis can say a specific metric is there. So ball handling is our example. Now you can say he does this move X% of the time, and it's a percentage-based model instead of them just saying, oh, this is a cool thing that he likes to do, or this is what he likes to do a lot. So I think that's huge in media, and then the fantasy element is the third one, and we think that in regards to training their models and or for actual fans, the users, to utilize this to make better predictions on player props or anything of that nature. So, yeah.
At the beginning of the presentation, you spoke a lot about the importance of bringing this to the amateur athletics. So in bringing, in the early stages, bringing this to market, what would the revenue model look like, and who would you be primarily selling to? Is it the AAUs, is it the coaches, or what is it?
Yeah, so initially we're focused on coaches and trainers. We were initially working with GMs and analytics departments, and we saw that it was kind of difficult because we were doing player development and scouting reports, and they were somewhat not receptive because it seemed like we were taking their position because we were focusing on creating a whole scouting report for them. So now we're launching our V2 in April, and when we launch that V2, it's basically going to have our raw data and dashboards. You can just grab it and pull it out directly from our system, and coaches and trainers love that. And now we're kind of we're alleviating having to deal with the analytics departments and teams and GMs at a higher level. So it just makes it a lot easier for us to get traction and work with different teams. But yeah. And
Tiffany asked a good question about, are you going beyond basketball? Talk about the scalability or the similarities in taking this from basketball to soccer to football.
Yeah, so all of our metrics has, like I said, a rule of 5 system. We've started off actually playing basketball overseas. I learned through coach teaching me lanes and angles. And I was just like, basketball is math. So we started creating curriculum to teach math and STEM to youth. And that's kind of where the whole system came from. So we're able to carbon copy the same type of systems to other, it just changes from a court grid to a field grid, so everything that we do is kind of carbon copied throughout. There are different elements, especially if a sport is more static, like a baseball or something like that. So that's why we're kind of focusing on sports that have a lot of movement, like soccer and basketball are very related. Football also has a lot of different things. Like we have our dribble tree, finish tree, pivot tree. So we have different things that we utilize. Football has their route tree, but we've taken different things and created elements the same way. Things that we're going to put out probably in the next year or so.
I want to revisit something Will raised earlier around kind of what's proprietary. And I also, it may just have been me, but I didn't totally understand kind of the nature of the content that you're bringing in and what rights you might have to that content. Mm-hmm. You got a couple IP things going on in this flow I want to understand. And then the second thing is, you mentioned that the metrics that you guys have are copyright eligible, which is somewhat of an unusual construct for data. So can you tell us a little bit more about both of those points?
Yeah, so we've basically we got the copyright on from a curriculum perspective. So we were basically creating curriculum initially, and that's when we got the copyright on it. So we basically have our systems copywritten from that perspective. From a pure data and analytics perspective, I think we want everyone to utilize the systems. It's not to the point in which you can't utilize it. But in regards to making money, we would love to actually work or partner with individuals that use our particular metrics. To that point, as in regards to proprietary, we're working on the algorithm, as I spoke to before, and then also the computer vision engine and how we're building it out. We think is very unique, and how we're looking at these specific qualitative elements and making them quantitative. So those are like some of the elements that we're working on currently.
I've got one last question. Is just on the sales process you have with, you talked about NBA and college teams, eventually youth, media, fantasy. Can you talk a little bit about how you're thinking about building out your team in terms of balancing data side of things with kind of how realistically the sales process goes into teams and or individuals?
Yeah, so the sales process is pretty simple because I played. So a lot of these people are my friends, especially trainers and coaches. So, you know, I'm just literally telling them about what we're doing and what that we're launching in April. So it's a lot of word of mouth. But also we have individuals that you know, are all professionals. So in different sports and different avenues on our team. Also college players as well. So everybody played at a high school, college, or pro level. So we kind of have that unique fit, and we have a lot of relationships. So I think it's going to be easiest for us to get in the market once we launch in April. Thank you.